Welcome to the Butterfly Empire. It is me, a butterfly queen, where we have conspiracy coffee and your mom if you burn her. You know. Today we are covering Tracie Andrews. Okay. She was born April 9th, 1969. She is a murderer who killed her fiancé, Lee Raymond Dean Harvey, on December 1st of 1996. She was sentenced to life imprisonment after being found guilty of a murder at her trial in July of 1997 and served 14 years in prison. So, get a drink of coffee and let's get started, shall we? Tracie Andrews was the middle child of 3 siblings and has several half-siblings. Her parents had a volatile relationship and they separated when Andrew was 6 years old. The separation had a lasting effect on Andrews. In 1990, Andrews gave birth to a baby daughter, but separated from her partner a year later. Andrew had aspirations of becoming a model, but originally began working as a barmaid. Multiple partners recall Andrews as being possessive, not liking them having a social life without her presence. Andrews also was prone to explosive displays of anger. October 94, she began a relationship with a local man named Lee Harvey, moving in with him 3 months after they met. Their off-again and on-again relationship was marked by vitality, with both being possessive and jealous of each other's relations with the men and women. The couple frequently argued, which sometimes escalated into violence and led them to police being summoned. Friends and family members of both Andrews and Harvey were uneasy about their dysfunctional relationship. Harvey had confided in both his friends and his mother regarding Andrews' emotional problems. Police were called to the house in late October of 1996. Just over a month before Harvey was murdered, after discovering that Andrews had bitten Harvey on the neck on one occasion. Other family members of Harvey warned him against pursuing a relationship with her. And Andrew's mother also told the daughter not to continue their flawed relationship. December 1st, a Sunday, 1996. After another day of fierce arguments, Andrew and Harvey went to a local pub for the evening in an attempt to fix it all. Andrews claimed that on the way back to their flat in the Becks, Albert Church, Worcestershire. Worcestershire. Are you having a stroke? No, I am not. I'm just trying. Exactly. That's how we feel about that word. Late that evening, the pair became involved in a road rage incident with 2 men. She claimed a car had followed her, and Harvey that 2 men from the car had confronted and attacked them both after stopping them on the county line. In reality, Andrew had stabbed Harvey over 42 times with a penknife. After they stopped in his car following an argument, Harvey's sister later said that from the time she was told about the murder, that Andrew had killed him. At a press conference, December 3rd, 1996, Andrews elaborated on the supposed attack, saying that a fat man with staring eyes had stabbed Harvey after getting out of a Ford Sierra, in which he was a passenger. Over the next week, police carried out investigations to track down Harvey's murder. The couple's car had stopped near the cottage, and the commotion had alerted a male resident living meters away, who discovered Harvey stabbed on the road and bruised and bloodied after Andrews stabbed him. He immediately ran back to his house to call the services. Police noted that the Harvey's car had apparently not stopped on the road in any hurry, but had been neatly parked on the side of the road. Harvey had been stabbed in the back, throat, and chest 42 times with a fatal wound going through an artery in his neck. Onward to the police investigation. Although Andrews claimed that she and Harvey had been attacked in the road rage incident, in her press conference of December 3rd, she said that the driver of the attacker's car had not blamed and appealed for him to come forward, something which police questioned as the driver had supposedly facilitated the attack on Harvey. Andrews seemed to contradict her original statement, giving different times to her original story, and the police had to step in and stop her while she told the story to the press. Police also noted that Andrews had a lot to say for a person who was supposedly in a state of shock. After the press conference, police began to question Andrews' story. A witness statement from a child in an adjacent cottage said that she could clearly hear an argument between a man and a woman at the car parked during the night. Police did not find any evidence that a second car had been overtaken Harvey's car to stop it before the attack, noting that there was tire marks on the grass. I'm sorry, they spelled the word tire wrong. It messed with my brain a little bit. Tire marks on the grass, bridges next to the narrow, single-lane country road that would be expected if such an event had taken place. In Harvey's hand, we found more than 80 strands of Andrews' hair, which pathologists determined would have been taken from her head with considerable force, aka with a stroke. Most notably, 2 witnesses came forward after Andrews' press conference to say that they had seen Harvey's white Ford Escort driving past them on the lane that Harvey was murdered on that night, that no car was following it, and that no other cars had been seen by them in the lane of an evening. This disproved Andrews' story and that she and Harvey had been attacked in a road rage incident after being followed by a car whilst home. Harvey interviewed her story of how Harvey was murdered. Andrew had then gone on to hold Harvey's mother's hand and his sister's while she recounted the fake story. While suspicious mounting on Andrews, she attempted suicide on the day after the press conference by taking an overdose of pills. Andrews' suicide attempt and the confirmation that no road rage incident could have accounted to convince people that they need arrested. She was charged for the murder December 1996 and was released on bail. What? Make it make sense. Further evidence. Police then discovered a penknife-shaped bloodstain and impression in Andrews' boot. Convinced police that she had carried the murder weapon in her boot after the murder and had disposed of it at the hospital. It was known that there had been a penknife in Harvey's car the night of the murder. After examining her heavily bloody-stained jumper, the police all determined that the blood had sprayed onto her after she stabbed her Harvey's neck. Andrews appealed on court charge on murder on July 1st, 1997. Was found guilty July 29th, 1997. The prosecutor had been able to skillfully destruct her story, so there's no way for her to get out of it. Many of Harvey's stab wounds had been in the back, indicating that Andrew was stabbed him while he was retreating out of the car. She was sentenced to life imprisonment, while the recommendation serves at least 14 years. Andrews appealed the sentence, claiming that she was a victim of a miscarriage of justice because of damaged publicity surrounding her case. In October 1998, the appeal was denied. April 1999, Andrews admitted that she did stab Harvey to death and that her entire story had been invented. Changing her story, Andrews then said that she stabbed Harvey in self-defense. There is no evidence to support this claim, however, particular as Harvey was stabbed mostly in the back while he was apparently retreating to his car. If you're stabbed in the back, not you defending yourself. Andrews was released in July 2011. She was banned from traveling within 25 miles of her victim's family without supervision. After her release, Andrews changed her name to Tia Carter and altered her parents, undergoing $5,000 surgery to change the shape of her jaw, and later changed her name to Jenna Stevens Goldsworth in 2017. She married bouncer Phil Goldsworth. So, there has been a book called Pure Evil. TV documentary series called Real Crime released an episode called Tracie Andrews, Blood on Her Hands. The murder was covered in a 2018 episode of a document, Britain's Most Evil Killers. CBS Reality aired a document on the killing in 2018 entitled Evidence of Evil: The Road Rage Killer. So, there you go. Tracie Andrews, the lady who killed her fiancé.